Hey everyone, I am David.
And I'm Anna. Welcome back to Learning English Together.
Today's topic is one I really hope you never need, but you absolutely must know: emergencies and safety.
Stay until the end. The last section has a phrase that almost no textbook teaches, but could actually save your life.
Anna, funny story. Not funny haha, funny terrifying. Last year I was on a hike and my friend twisted his ankle badly. I mean, he couldn't walk at all.
Oh no. What did you do?
I had to call for help. And honestly, I froze for a second because I wasn't sure exactly what to say.
That happens to so many people. When you're scared, your brain goes blank.
Exactly. So the most important thing is to call 911. That's the emergency number in the US.
And once someone answers, they'll ask you three things: what happened, where you are, and how many people are hurt.
Right? So for what happened, you say something like there's been an accident, or my friend has fallen and can't walk.
Short and direct. Don't over-explain when you're panicking.
What if you're not sure of the exact address?
You describe landmarks. I'm on the hiking trail near Riverside Park, about 10 minutes from the main entrance.
That's what I did. I said, we're on the North Trail, near the big wooden sign.
And they found you?
They did. 20 minutes later, a rescue team showed up.
Quick tip: save the local emergency number as a contact. In the US, it's 911, but internationally it varies.
If you know those three pieces, what, where, how many, you can handle 90% of emergency calls in English.
Quick recap. 5 phrases from that section. The first one is there's been an accident, the standard opening line when you call emergency services.
For example, hello, there's been an accident. My friend fell on a hiking trail.
Repeat after me. There's been an accident. There's been an accident. Next, call for help, to contact emergency services or ask people nearby to assist.
For example, I need to call for help. This looks serious.
Repeat after me. Call for help. Call for help. Third, landmarks, recognizable places nearby that help you describe your location.
For example, I can't read the street sign, but I'm near a landmark, the big blue church on the corner.
Repeat after me. Landmarks. Landmarks. Fourth, rescue team, the group of trained people who arrive to handle the emergency.
For example, the rescue team arrived within 15 minutes and took over.
Repeat after me. Rescue team. Rescue team. And fifth, showed up, an informal phrase meaning arrived, often used with some relief.
For example, I was so scared, but then the ambulance showed up and I felt better.
Repeat after me. Showed up. Showed up.
Okay, so let's say help is on the way. Now you need to describe what's actually happening to the dispatcher or to the paramedics when they arrive.
And this is where people struggle, because medical vocabulary is hard.
Very hard. What are the key phrases?
The most useful ones are about breathing and consciousness. He's not breathing. She's unconscious. He's bleeding heavily.
Those are terrifying sentences, but important ones to know.
Also, I think she broke her arm, or he's complaining of chest pain. You don't need to diagnose, just describe.
Complaining of, I love that phrase. It's how doctors talk. The patient is complaining of chest pain.
Right.
You can use it even if you're not a doctor. He's complaining of pain in his leg.
What about when you're the one who's hurt?
Then you say, I'm having trouble breathing, or I can't move my left arm, or I feel dizzy.
I feel dizzy. Good one.
And here's a key sentence to know. I'm allergic to penicillin, or whatever the allergy is. Medical teams need that immediately.
That one could genuinely save someone's life.
Exactly. Write your allergies down somewhere accessible. Your phone's lock screen even.
If you can say what's wrong, where it hurts, and whether you have allergies, paramedics could do their job.
Quick recap. 6 phrases from that section. The first one is unconscious, not awake, not responding to anything.
For example, she fell and hit her head. She's unconscious.
Repeat after me. Unconscious. Unconscious. Next, bleeding heavily, losing a lot of blood, quickly.
For example, his leg is cut and he's bleeding heavily. We need pressure on it now.
Repeat after me. Bleeding heavily. Bleeding heavily. Third, complaining of, describing a symptom that someone is experiencing or reporting.
For example, the patient is complaining of severe chest pain and shortness of breath.
Repeat after me. Complaining of. Complaining of. Fourth, I feel dizzy. The sensation that the room is spinning or you're about to faint.
For example, I stood up too fast and I feel dizzy. I need to sit down.
Repeat after me. I feel dizzy. I feel dizzy. Fifth, shortness of breath. Difficulty breathing. Not getting enough air.
For example, he's having shortness of breath and his lips look pale. Call 911.
Repeat after me. Shortness of breath. Shortness of breath. And sixth, I'm allergic to, saying you have a dangerous reaction to a specific substance.
For example, tell the doctor, I'm allergic to penicillin. Very important.
Repeat after me. I'm allergic to. I'm allergic to.
Okay, so let's fast forward. You made it to the emergency room, ER they call it. Now what?
First thing, you'll talk to a triage nurse. Their job is to figure out how serious your situation is.
And they move fast. They'll ask your name, what happened, and your pain level.
Right.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is your pain?
That question, I never knew what to say. Is 10 the worst?
Yes.
10 is I'm dying. 1 is it barely hurts. Most people say 6 or 7 because they feel awkward saying 10.
Huh, don't feel awkward. Be honest. The number affects how quickly they treat you.
Also useful. I was brought in by ambulance. It tells them this was a real emergency.
What if you don't have insurance? Can you still get treated?
Emergency rooms in the U.S. must treat you regardless of insurance. You can say, I don't have insurance, but I need treatment.
That's a huge thing to know.
One more. Can you explain that in simpler terms? Doctors use a lot of medical jargon. It is totally okay to ask them to slow down.
I've actually used that one. The doctor said something about a fracture, and I said, can you explain that in simpler terms? And he said, you broke your wrist.
Perfect use of it.
You're not being rude. You're making sure you understand your own care.
If you know how to rate your pain, say you need treatment and ask for a clearer explanation. You can advocate for yourself in an ER.
Quick recap. 5 phrases from that section. The first one is triage, the process of sorting patients by urgency, so the sickest are treated first.
For example, the triage nurse checked my vital signs and sent me to wait in the urgent care area.
Repeat after me.
Tria.
Next, on a scale of 1 to 10, a standard way medical staff ask you to rate your pain level.
For example, on a scale of 1 to 10, my pain is about a 7. It's really hard to concentrate.
Repeat after me. On a scale of 1 to 10. On a scale of 1 to 10. Third, brought in by ambulance, how you arrived at the hospital via emergency vehicle.
For example, she was brought in by ambulance after collapsing at the office.
Repeat after me. Brought in by ambulance. Brought in by ambulance. Fourth, regardless of, without considering or being affected by a particular factor.
For example, emergency rooms must treat you regardless of whether you have insurance.
Repeat after me. Regardless of. Regardless of. And fifth, can you explain that in simpler terms? A polite way to ask someone to use easier language.
For example, the doctor used a lot of medical words. I said, "Can you explain that in simpler terms, please?"
Repeat after me. Can you explain that in simpler terms? Can you explain that in simpler terms?
Now let me ask you something. Do you have a smoke detector at home?
I do. And a carbon monoxide detector.
Do you?
I do now. I didn't until my neighbor had a small kitchen fire last year.
Scary. What happened?
She smelled smoke and shouted, "Call the fire department," which, by the way, is the exact phrase to use. Not call the fireman. Call the fire department.
Good one. Also, there's a gas leak. If you smell gas at home, that's what you say before getting everyone out.
And evacuate the building. That one sounds official, but it's actually what you hear in real emergencies.
In a fire drill at work, someone shouts, "Evacuate the building," and everyone knows to leave immediately.
What about natural disasters, like earthquakes or floods?
Take shelter. That's the key phrase. Take shelter immediately. It means find a safe, protected place.
And if it's a flood, move to higher ground.
These are instructions you'll hear on news, weather alerts, and from officials. Recognizing them fast matters.
One phrase I had never heard before moving to the U.S. This is not a drill. Meaning, this is real, not practice.
This is not a drill. You hear it at the start of real emergency announcements.
When you hear it, you act.
Knowing these phrases before you need them is the whole point. Stay calm, stay clear, stay safe.
Quick recap. 5 phrases from that section. The first one is smoke detector, a device that beeps loudly when it senses smoke or fire.
For example, the smoke detector went off while I was cooking. I burned my toast again.
Repeat after me. Smoke detector. Smoke detector. Next, evacuate the building. To leave a building quickly and safely because of danger.
For example, the fire alarm rang and the manager shouted, "Evacuate the building now."
Repeat after me. Evacuate the building. Evacuate the building. Third, there's a gas leak. What you say when you smell gas, signaling a dangerous situation.
For example, don't turn on any lights. There's a gas leak. Get out and call the gas company.
Repeat after me. There's a gas leak. There's a gas leak. Fourth, take shelter. To move into a protected place, especially during a storm or a disaster.
For example, the tornado warning just went off. Take shelter in the basement immediately.
Repeat after me. Take shelter. Take shelter. And fifth, this is not a drill, a signal that the emergency is real, not a practice run.
For example, attention all staff. This is not a drill. Please evacuate using the nearest exit.
Repeat after me. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. That's all for today. Pick one phrase. Maybe can you explain that in simpler terms? And use it this week. It works far beyond emergencies.
If this helped, hit like and follow. Next episode, we're talking about fitness and sports, gym vocab, workout phrases, and what to say when you pull a muscle.
See you then. Stay safe.